Well, listeners, you are listening to Subculture, and right now we've got some very, very special news because we know that a lot of you out there love Green Day, and Green Day's American Idiot musical is returning back to Melbourne for a very, very special season at Chapel Off Chapel. And today we thought we would get one of the stars of this production on the phone to talk a little bit about his role in the production. He's playing Johnny. So I want to welcome to the program, without any other further ado, Matt Dwyer. Welcome to the program, Matt.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Now, mate, this is an absolutely amazing musical. I saw it a few years ago when it was in Melbourne, and now it's returning with an all-new cast. Tell us a little bit about how you feel to be involved with Green Day's American Idiot.
Yeah, it's such a huge, energetic show. It from start to finish, because as you know, it's a sung-through musical, meaning that there's very little in-between bits between the songs. So my character, Johnny, is kind of the narrator throughout the arc of the story. But other than those little bits in between the tracks, it's just go, go, go. And I think that's something really exciting to not only see, but to perform as well, because the energy's just got to be there and you've got to keep that up. And Theatrical has done a really good job of creating this great atmosphere between the cast and the prod team where, you know, from pretty much rehearsal one, we just clicked, and we've taken that camaraderie into rehearsals, into performances, and we're really keen to get going at mid-March.
So this is your first leading role. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get to this point.
Yeah, it's a funny one actually. I just came off doing a show, a community show for Rock of Ages, playing that, and I was a support lead in that show, and I auditioned for American Idiot. My wife actually forced me to do it. Because I said that I was really interested in it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back to back with shows. She's like, no, just go for it. And so I did. And I was still in two minds after I'd auditioned for it, but then I went to the callback, and I just saw the choreography and I heard everyone sing. And from that moment, I was just like, nah, I need to be in this. This is awesome. And so luckily I was asked to be Johnny for the show, and it's been a great ride. You know, it's a real challenge, that his character, which I can, you know, I'll take you through. He kind of has a real whirlwind arc throughout the story, and it's been a great, a lot of fun and a great challenge, because you have to really make him likable at the start, because he becomes quite dislikable throughout the show. So I don't want you know, the audience to dislike him for the wrong reasons. I want them to root for him to get out of this rut that he falls into.
What kind of challenge does that provide to you as an actor, knowing that your character does become unlikable in a sense? And also there's some very deep themes explored in this production as well. What kind of challenges does that provide for you as an actor?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been my first theatre production where I have to really delve into those sort of dark pits of my mind, and it's been great fun. But the challenge is to be able to portray someone who, at the start, had these huge dreams, because the story revolves around these three friends, and they're sort of stuck in this dead-end town, and they want to get out, they want to make something of their lives, they want to be something bigger, something better, and fate has it that they become estranged, their paths take, you know, different directions, and each one of their sort of narrative arcs over the course of the show kind of goes down.
Yeah.
They all go downhill. And so the challenge there is being able to take the audience along for that ride. Like I said before, making sure that at the start of the show we're really up, we're energetic, we're hopeful, we're big dreamers. We want the audience to feel that, to see that, to relate to that, so that later on, when, you know, our characters potentially aren't making the best decisions, we don't really want the audience to hate them for that. We want them to wish better for them. You know, we want them to know that these characters deserve better. we've all made terrible decisions. We've all, walked dark paths in life. So hopefully being able to portray a character that the audience can relate to in that sense, that's been the challenge.
Yeah. Now, you just mentioned that you're coming off Rock of Ages and now you're heading into American Idiot. I'm sensing a little bit of a theme there with rock music. Are you a big rock music fan?
Yeah, I am. I've played in sort of heavy rock, hardcore bands most of my life. Since I'm 33 now. Since the age of 14, maybe 13, I picked up a guitar, and since then I've played. Started off in the sort of emo punk phase of Green Day and Blink and bands like that, Sum 41, and then moved into heavier metal and then coming back out of it and loving all brands of music, and that's the good thing about American Idiot the musical, is it really bridges that gap between musical fanatics and rock fanatics.
What's the biggest difference you notice from getting up and playing a show with a band than doing a show like Rock of Ages or American Idiot? Is there any big differences there that you notice?
Yeah, absolutely. There's huge differences. One is, especially with something like American Idiot, where it is sung through, and a lot of the details in the characters' motivations and emotions are in the lyrics, and only really in the lyrics. You need to walk that line of articulation so that the audience understands what you're doing, but also still being in character and putting weight and emotion behind what you're singing and what you're doing and the actions you're doing. Whereas when you're on stage just rocking out, your number one goal is to just entertain.
Yeah.
You're not trying to take the audience on a journey, with narrative and story. You're just trying to make sure that they get their money's worth. And in a musical, you want to make sure that they get their money's worth, obviously, but also that you're taking them on a journey.
Definitely. With the music that you mentioned before of being a fan of, I'm guessing that you were well and truly aware of the album American Idiot. What have you noticed going into playing Johnny? What have you taken away from the album now that you kind of see that you didn't see previously before you started to explore this character of Johnny?
Yeah, the album itself, with the story of Johnny and St. Jimmy, the way it kind of works is they've split up a lot of the story across the three arcs of the three guys in the production. So being able to take away the main narrative arc of American Idiot and fusing that with, I guess, some life that I've lived and challenges that I've had to overcome, marring those to, combining those to make Johnny really grounded is, I guess, what I've tried to do.
Definitely. You mentioned too before about the cast as well. It sounds like you guys have gelled really, really well. What's rehearsals been like up until this point?
Yeah, like on day two, I mean, I'm even though I'm a performer off stage, I'm quite a introverted, quiet person, and we're rocking up to day two of rehearsal. We're waiting for the prod team to sort of come out and tell us what we'll be doing. So a few of the cast just decided to make a bit of a circle, crank on some music, and just have a bit of a dance jam off. And it was just this immediate glue that bonded us together. And ever since then, we've all become really close, and we've gone out for lunches and dinners and beers, and have really we've really connected on a real friendship level, and I feel you can sense that in the show.
Definitely. And you're also working with a very, very talented director in Scott Bradley. Tell us a little bit about Scott and what he's like to work with as a director.
Scott's fantastic. Scott has this amazing ability to outline this skeleton. He can show you his vision. He outlines this skeleton, but then allows you to fit within that. So he allows you to mold yourself into his vision. So it's this sort of dual way of thinking where he's like, this is what I want, this is what I believe your character is feeling. this is what I believe his actions and his motivations are. How do you feel about that? He's happy to have someone disagree with him as well. If you think fundamentally my character, actually, I feel like he would more so be feeling this or wanting to do this. It becomes a discussion, and if you're able to explain why, Scott's happy to back down and let you roll with it, and it becomes this really, especially in a musical like this, which is wild and really freeform. It needs that sort of loosey-goosey feel to it, where everything isn't just this strict beat by beat, number by number feel to it. It needs to feel quite chaotic at times, because all the characters are sort of going through this whirlwind of chaos that Scott's been able to really challenge us with finding those moments in the show to dig down and find the truth in these crazy things that are happening in the show.
Definitely. And now, for all of our listeners out there, Green Day's American Idiot is on at Chapel Off Chapel in Paran from the 9th to the 26th of March, and we'll have all the links and everything up on our website at subcultureentertainment.com, where you can go to grab tickets. So please check out our website to grab your tickets. Matt, I guess to finish off, what would you like to say to everybody out there before they go out and grab tickets for this amazing show?
Yeah, like I said before, it's a show that if you're not quite into musicals, you still like it, because it's this amazing bridge between hard rock and musical. It's this fun, energetic show that has a lot of emotion behind it. It has all, it's start to finish of the American Idiot album, plus a few tracks from 21st Century Breakdown. So it's banger after banger of songs, and the songs have been beautifully translated through to like a musical style. So not only is it hard rock, hard punk, you've also got huge harmony parts, strings along with it, massive sort of vocal parts and drums, and it's just this huge whirlwind of energy that from start to finish is enjoyable.
Well, there you go, listeners. Head along and check out Green Day's American Idiot at Chapel Off Chapel. Right now on the show, we are going to take a listen to one of the tracks off the American Idiot album. But Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been an absolute honor having you on the show.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.